Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for spoiler alert, episode 24, The Wrath of Kanji? I don't know. Welcome everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and then we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. So one of the videos, my vast video library, pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you feel like gambling, you can hit that bell down below, and YouTube may or may not notify you. Best thing to do is go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I put up there. I change it out every week, and I'm going to change it out again probably today because there's some stuff that's been added. But anyway, there's also some links to my pages and links to my social media there as well. So, Morks, did you make it back? I know you were early. So, this segment, I guess you could say, of my channel is it's a time killer now. Really what it is, it's all the stuff that I really don't have a chance to either talk about or cover, that kind of thing that doesn't make it into the regular lineup of things. So if you guys want to talk spoilers about movies, TV shows, video games, stuff that have already come out, not stuff that's sneak previews or anything like that, this is the place to do it. Um, Even if I haven't seen it, that's fine. I'll probably just nod politely. Uh, yeah, things of that nature. I haven't seen Nope. It just doesn't look like, anything I'm really into. I'm, you know, not really big on M. Night Shyamalan twists, endings kind of thing, which is what it seems like that's what Jordan Peele's doing again. And I'm, yeah, I'm just not interested, quite honestly. I have been watching What We Do in the Shadows, which has been pretty fucking funny. Season 4 is up and running now. Also, what else have I been watching? Motherland, Fort Salem. They're doing their final season right now, which is kind of meh at the moment. There's some interesting ideas, but they're doing the fugitive line right now, and no show survives a fugitive line. It really doesn't. When you have an entire season based on being on the run, it's weak writing. That's all I can say on that one. Solar Opposites, season 3 is up. I've been watching that too. And there's some funny stuff in there. I mean, it's not all great, but it's Justin Roiland, so take what you will off of that. What else have I been watching? The Old Man. The Old Man, which is on FX as well. It's Jeff Bridges, his show, being a ex-CIA guy who had been leading a quiet, unassumed life when his old life comes back to haunt him, kind of thing. John Lithgow is also in it as well. Decent show. It's actually pretty good. I think there's one episode left, even though Hulu keeps saying all the episodes are up. They are not all up. There's only 7 episodes up. I think there's an 8th one because the way they left it, there's got to be an 8th episode. Um, and I also saw The Gray Man. The Gray Man. Why don't we start with that? How about that? So The Gray Man, of course, being on Netflix, that is the Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans movie that's directed by the Russo brothers, written and directed by the Russo brothers. I'm going to say this. It's too long. One, the movie's way too long. It feels long. The action scenes suck because you can't see anything. Again, it suffers from shaky camera. The camera's going all over the place. And yeah, it just looks like shit. You can't see anything during the action scenes. And Ryan Gosling, good fucking Lord, someone needs to teach him how to emote. I don't know, burn him with a fucking cigarette. Shock him with some tasers, something just to get a reaction out of him that's other than that petrified piece of wood face that he has. There's a reason why he was cast as Ken in the Barbie movie, is because his face is already plastic and doesn't move. So, yeah. He was one of the worst things in it. Quite honestly, I'm just gonna say that right now. It's just god awful. I mean, just he makes literally no fucking facial expressions whatsoever during the entire movies. Hey, Chaka's Cave, how's it going? This is just, spoiler stuff, man. If you want to spit out spoilers of stuff, you're welcome to. As long as it's been out into the public, you can spoil away. So that's what I've been talking about is the Gray Man and just how bad it was. So, um, what we do in the shadows has just been funny. The whole thing with Colin Ferguson. You need a distraction from the heat. Yeah, luckily, I mean, it's not that bad here on the West Coast. Northwest is supposed to be getting hit in triple digits up at the moment, but not here. We're actually kind of nice at the moment. Plus I have AC going on too, so you know. Raymond says, "Isn't that how CIA spooks are supposed to be, straight faced?" Raymond, this was just bad. I mean, he gets stabbed, and I know the character is supposed to be conditioned by his dad from when he was young, just to kind of work through the pain. But good God, man, it literally is like stab. That's his reaction. It's like not even a wince or anything like that. It's horribly, horribly bad. Yeah. Oh, you're up in Washington. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I know it's going into the triple digits later on this week. I feel for you. I do. Hopefully you have some AC or a way of getting cooler. But yeah, no. Um, but yeah, the Gray Man was just, and then Chris Evans with the porn stash. Uh, yeah, and Jessica Chadwick. Uh, is that right? Chadwick is her name. The one who's in who played Colleen Wing in Iron Fist. Um, she's in this as well, and just horribly, horribly wasted. Billy Bob Thornton's character, gracefully gets killed off, uh, which is good. Um, Alfre Woodward, her character, which was, I mean, they're decent characters, and they kill them off fairly quickly. And I'm like, I kind of like that character. The character I don't like, you don't kill. So I understand it's from a book, and it's supposed to be, serialized. There's already a sequel in the works, and Gosling's already signed on for it. But this is the main. This is my exhibit A for the reason why Henwick. Thank you, CBM. Yes, Henwick, Jessica Henwick. Um, this is my main exhibit A of the reason why Ryan Gosling should never, ever, ever play a superhero, and not Ghost Rider whatsoever. He should never play Ghost Rider. We already had a really bad actor playing Ghost Rider twice. We don't need to have an even worse actor playing Ghost Rider or Johnny Blaze. We actually want sequels to these movies. We don't want, shitty movies. That's the reason why, Ghost Rider never made a third movie. Man. All I can say is pissing fire. Yes. If you saw Ghost Rider 2, you know what I'm talking about. Solar Opposites. If you haven't seen Solar Opposites, it's basically Rick and Morty, but with aliens. Aliens on Earth, I should say. It's funny, just because of some of the stuff they call out all the shit that they're doing, because of course they're obviously doing tropes from movies. So they'll do, you know, uh different kinds of movies, that kind of stuff. The one narrative that keeps running throughout the entire thing is these people that Yumulak has shrunk down to ant size, I guess you could say, and he's put them in a wall, in the wall there. And this has been going on now for now into the third season, and there's a society in the wall because he shrunk down so many people, and they have their own storyline that pops up in all of this, and it's actually a pretty good storyline. So they keep coming back to it, and actually, the Wall storyline has been taking over a lot more of the story in season 3 than it has in the previous seasons, because it's just been getting bigger and more interesting, quite honestly. So, although I'll have to admit, there was an episode this season that shows what, there was 100 ships that supposedly escaped their home world before it got hit by the asteroids to go out and terraform. So the computer basically starts, telling them what happened to the other 99 ships out there. Uh, and a good majority of them have gotten eaten by T-Rexes. So whatever planet they've landed on, they get eaten by a T-Rex. So there's a montage of them getting eaten by T-Rexes, all these different teams. And it's pretty funny, actually, because they're doing them in different settings. Like, one is dressed up like Abraham Lincoln, and you have, like, the Washington D.C., and you see them running. They're froze frame, they're running, and the T-Rex is after them, and the T-Rex is dressed as Abraham Lincoln. One like Jaws, where it's coming up out of the water, just all kinds of stuff like that, which is kind of funny. But yeah, if you haven't seen Solar Opposites, give it a try. It's got some good stuff. I was talking about What We Do in the Shadows as well. So Colin Ferguson, being a little boy now, he's been reborn, and he's growing fairly quickly. So now he's, I guess you could say, a tween at this point. And Laszlo is trying to basically not make him boring, is what's going on. And of course, that's not working at all. Naja is opened up her. She's basically turned the Vampire World League and where they're at into a nightclub. Um, and yeah, because it needs to make money. It's some funny stuff. If you haven't again seen What We Do in the Shadows, that's actually some good stuff. My favorite line to this day is still in. It was last season, actually. Colin Ferguson says he just posts on Nextdoor, the app Nextdoor. He asked a simple question about where something was. He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I put it on Nextdoor and it got racist really quickly," and that just made me fucking laugh, because I mean that is pretty much Nextdoor. It gets either racist, political, or something like that, and then the topic gets flagged and the post disappears. Except for the missing animal ones, then you get people going, "Well, coyote probably got it." So, what are you guys watching out there? Chaka's Cave says, "Okay, so here's a spoiler I want to bring up. At the end of Supernatural, when they're cutting through Sam's life after hunting, they get to a scene where he sits in the Impala with a laughably bad old man wig." Yeah, I remember that. That was actually done on purpose, Chaka. They did that on purpose. It was supposed to call out Oliver Queen's bad wigs in the CW shows. So it actually it's an in joke in that they were making fun of Stephen Amell. So there was a reason for it. They will do stuff like that on the show. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty funny. I did watch the last episode, because I mean, for fuck's sake, I watched either 10 or 11 seasons of Supernatural, and I gave up. And then yeah. Yeah, they actually know Stephen Amell, so that was an in joke and all of that. So yeah, that was a big joke. They knew it looked bad. I mean, and also the CW is known for using really bad wigs, so it's just become kind of an in joke at that point, especially on the superhero shows. For some reason, they just use really fucking bad wigs. Oliver's in particular, just he has some horrible wigs when he's out on the island. Whenever they're doing a flashback to the island, he's got a bad wig on. What else is I talking about? Oh, the old man. The old man, man, if you didn't know that his daughter was not, Jeff Bridges' biological, the character that he's playing, John's biological daughter, and wasn't the bad guy's daughter, then obviously you haven't been watching. I mean, they've been telegraphing that one for like miles and miles. So CBM says CW often has bad costuming. It does. It really does. Um, they really do. I still find it funny that Superman and Lois has distanced themselves from the Arrowverse. So this Superman is not part of the Arrowverse. He is a different universe. That is also, I think, the reason why they have a different costume. So the other Superman that we saw that had been in the crossover actually has a cape that comes down. He has these, I don't know, it attaches to like a little bar, down here. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to like hit that, but uh, so yeah, it's you know, oh, sorry, I got a train coming through. That's the reason why the screen's starting to shake right now. So I live close to the train tracks, and so the big freighter is coming through, and it shakes the shit out of the apartment. Yeah, that's the reason why I'm looking for a different place. Chaka's Cave says, speaking of the CW, I'm doing a rewatch of the 100 right now. The last season really bugs me though. I never watched it. I tried watching the 100 and I just got really bored by it and I just stopped. Siri says, I have no idea what we're talking about. Baseball, I presume. Yep. And the Sharks just made a basket. Yeah, no, we get a big it's like twice a day, roughly, sometimes 3 times a day. There's a gigantic freight train that comes through. They're usually carrying like construction equipment and stuff like that. And it literally shakes the ground for a good quarter mile in either side of the train tracks. And just everything just shakes. Like, yeah, that's how big it is. Ah, yes. And the score is 15 love. To be really blunt. No, I was talking about the old man, is what I was talking about, Sirius, on FX with Jeff Bridges, John Lithgow. That's what I was talking about. Then we were also talking about Supernatural. I was talking about What We Do in the Shadows, Solar Opposites. I've been talking about a lot of different things. So, Motherland Fort Salem, this final season has just been getting really weird. Again, like I said, they're on the run. And again, fugitive storylines really suck in a series. It means that you don't know what you're doing, or you're kind of backed into a corner creatively. So you go on the fugitive run, and those never play out right. So yeah, I'm not happy about it. Especially since they brought in some characters called the Marshals who seem pretty interesting. And also we started looking at the session as well. And yeah, yeah. Seriously, they're doing renovations to the apartment beneath me. Oh wow, okay. Yep. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. Yeah. uh Chaka's Cave says John Lithgow was fucking amazing in Dexter. I had Rita's death spoiled for me 2 episodes before I got to it. Oh yeah. Yeah, John Lithgow was pretty damn amazing. He's amazing in anything he does. He's great in The Old Man as well. I like him in this as well. And just to listen to him swear, it's fun. I haven't really listened to him swear, I think, since The World According to Garp, I think, is when the last time I heard him say fuck. Joker says, I heard the story might continue in a graphic. Oh, that's right. For Motherland Fort Salem. Yeah, I heard that too, that it might continue in a graphic novel. CBM says, I find an issue more with when they're done with the fugitive story thing, just go back to normal. Yeah. 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 Imagine him as Ford. That would be as interesting as Hopkins. Huh. That would be interesting. Yeah. Um, going back to the Superman from the CW thing, there was I forget which site was actually making they have a theory about the Superman from Superman and Lois, or Superman and Lois in general. They think that Tyler Hoechlin might end up becoming the new Superman in the movies, and they think that he might actually have a cameo in Black Adam. So that is one of the things that they are positing, that this Superman is actually going to make his way onto the big screen from the small screen. And I highly doubt that. Um, so what brought this all about was Henry Cavill. There was rumors that he was supposed to be at Comic-Con last week. And that didn't happen. And the rumors were that he was going to come back, announce a new Superman movie or something like that. And that, of course, did not happen. So now the rumor mongering came about that he's done as Superman, that he's out as Superman. And so that's why they're saying that Tyler Hoechlin might be the new, cinematic Superman, even though he's playing the TV Superman. So who knows? I don't know. We'll see what happens when Black Adam comes out in October. I highly doubt it myself, but honestly, you could have a worse Superman. I like him as Superman, to tell you the truth. He does a good job. He, he does feel like um, Christopher Reeve adjacent Superman. He has that approachability. He has that hopefulness, I guess you can say, of Superman that every other incarnation since Christopher Reeve has been missing. I mean, Christopher Reeve was the last one that actually had that kind of feeling to him, and yeah, um, I don't know. Chaka's Cave says no. The Bat Harbor Butcher season was peak Dexter, low key. No. CBM says studios are still pretty phobic about TV stars crossing over to movies, regardless of how good they are. Marvel is an exception. True, but CBM, that is how Marvel wanted this to be, and actually they went from movies to TV rather than TV to movies. So although now they're switching it up and they are doing TV to movies, but yeah, Marvel's been going from movie to TV, and now they're switching their game up a bit. I think because of now the second uh, selling of Warner Brothers. I mean, the first one was to AT&T. The second one, of course, being to Discovery Plus, and them trying to shed the $3 billion in the bad deal that they had, that they made, I should say. Um, Tyler is a lower cost option rather than Henry Cavill, which he's in demand right now. He's invested in The Witcher. Um, his price tag has gone way up, and but he also has his controversies as well. So if you just kind of get rid of him and say this is another universe Superman, and here he is, and we'll have other different universe Supermans come in here and there. I could see their point of the website that was talking about this. So Raymond says if most superheroes don't like to kill, does that mean they're pro? Oh God. Do you think they'll bring back Allison Mack's character? No, God, no. No. She's gonna be you know, she's gone from acting forever. Yeah, man. I mean, if they brought her back, you can imagine. Yeah. So it's the backlash should be pretty great, I would say, on all of that. But I got my copy of Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness. I got my 4K copy that showed up today. I'm looking forward to that as well. Did I see American Gods, Chaka? I tried watching it and I couldn't get through it. I really couldn't. I tried. And I just couldn't. Yeah, I don't know, Sirius. She, by the way, she presented a lot of the evidence, so that's a different subject altogether. Um, so yeah, going back to your question, Chaka, I did not see American Gods. Um, I tried watching. I think I watched the first 2 episodes, and I just couldn't get into it. You know, um, I'm interested in Sandman Raymond, but again, it's Neil Gaiman, and Gaiman's really hit and miss with me. I mean, just it's either one or the other, and I'm just yeah. Chaka's Cave says it's slow garbage, and right when it gets interesting, they cancel. Yeah. Um. So that one, Chaka, Neil Gaiman, who of course was interested. He wrote the book, of course, or co-wrote the book. Um, when they were filming the first season, he kept interrupting the showrunner. He kept getting involved. He kept interfering, and that's what happened with season 1. As season 2 was getting ready to kick off, the showrunner left, of course, midway through pre-production. They brought in his second in command to take over, and really it was Neil Gaiman with his hand up that guy's ass, trying to work through season 2. And then finally he was like, fuck this. And, or actually, I think they fired him. They fired him by the end of season 2. And then they brought in a third person, and that just ended it right there. Keith says, did you try to watch season 1 of Resident Evil? I did watch season 1 of Resident Evil, and I even did an Is It Worth My Time of Resident Evil, Keith. So if you go and take a look in the archives, I've got Resident Evil season 1 up there. And you finally finished Counterpart, Joe Greer. What'd you think of it? It's one of my favorite J.K. Simmons properties, I would say. CBM says Counterpart was good, but unfortunately canceled too. Again, that was Stars. So Stars, even though so this is really stupid. So even though Counterpart had high numbers of viewers, it did not fit the demographics that they were looking for because there were too many male viewers of the show. Stars really wanted to have more of a female demographic. That's why they started moving into the what's that time travel romance novel one that uh, I can't remember the name of it right now, but the one where she goes back to Scotland, in the 1600s or something like that. Anyway, that is what the demographic was they wanted. That's why Ash versus Evil Dead got canceled, and why Counterpart got canceled, is because it did not meet the demographics of Stars, even though they're pulling in killer numbers. It's one of the stupidest things that, yeah. Anyway, seriously, I don't think I've ever fully felt confident in anything Fuller has done because I just know he's going to bail after 2 seasons. Yeah, I agree with you. And yes, J.K. Simmons did kill it in Invincible, quite literally. I watched the last episode again recently, and I was like, "Holy fuck! I forgot how violent this was." I mean, because it's really fucking violent. I mean, they kill thousands of people in that final episode, and that's just collateral damage of his dad's like throwing him through Chicago, and I mean through buildings, down into the subway, just the shockwave alone. And I'm just like, fuck. I forgot how fucking brutal that was. Yes, Brian Fuller, CPM. Yeah. Chaka's Cave says another stinker I just watched, Halo the TV series, and I've been a diehard Halo fan since 2004. And while I enjoyed it for what it was, but the 14-year-old Halo fan of me is pissed. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people don't really like it. So, yeah. Sirius says, yeah, I recommended it and Future Man to my brother, but told him not to watch it with his daughter. Oh, yeah. Good God. Don't watch either of those with any children. Not unless you have already warped them. I mean, so I used to watch shit like that when I was a kid. I mean, honestly, Um, so my siblings are older than me, of course. I mean, my next closest in age sibling was 10 years older than me. So I got dragged along. Well, I should say they were forced to drag me along to whatever movies they were going to and stuff like that. And so I saw Animal House in the theater. I want to say I was 5 or 6, somewhere around there. So I saw a lot of movies I probably shouldn't have seen at a young age. And yeah, and no one really thought much of it. They were just like, it's movies. So, but I turned out just fine. CBM said, I love Dead Like Me, Pushing Daisies, and Wonderfalls, but yeah, pity that they just end too soon. Sirius says, my parents softened as they had more kids. I was third. By number 5 of 7, the rules were falling away. Yeah, I was number 4. I was oops. Yeah, literally oops. So, yeah. Raymond says, I remember when Deadpool 1 came out, the usher gave a speech on why the superhero movie is not for children and consider watching another movie. uh, your first R-rated movie was Deep Blue Sea? Wow. Okay. Yeah, I still remember the first movie I saw in movie theaters, and it had to have been a rerun or, a reissuing of it. And I want to say I was 3 years old. I might have been 2. I don't remember. Was Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. That is the first movie I saw in the movie theater with Angela Lansbury. So yeah, Disney movie. But yes, I do remember that. In bits and pieces here and there. Siri says, but brother is too chill. He'll plop that sucker down on the bed and binge Invincible. Says she won't remember anything. Oh man. Yeah. Until those therapist bills come in. CBM says the show you were talking about was Outlander. Yes, Outlander. Thank you, CBM. The one about the Scottish time travel romance novel couched in sci-fi. That is it. Sirius says, and he's right. My little brother watched Lion King every day for months when he was a baby. Years later, he told me he's never seen the Lion King. Well, yeah, I mean, that's because he was a baby. I mean, um, I honestly, if you think back to what your first memory was, my first memory is at 18 months old or a year and a half old. That's how far back I can go. I don't remember anything before that. So the full memory that I can recall. So yeah. Just be happy it stopped him crying. Yep. Yep. That's pretty much what it is. It's TV the pacifier. Chaka's Cave says I still have my stuffed Simba from when I was a toddler in the 90s. It's kind of funny. So one of the neighbors down the hallway here has a golden retriever named Simba, and Pepper absolutely hates that dog. Although that dog is like 3 times the size of Pepper. She's a little terrier, is what she is. And she knows that she can punk him. So whenever he's passing by, she'll go, "Arr!" Like she'll just do like a little bark at him, and he like bolts. It's the funniest shit you'll ever see. She's not going for him. She just knows that she can punk him, and she does it when she can. That's how much of an asshole she is. She's pretending to be asleep right now. So, yeah. Oliver Twist, that movie scared the shit out of me. The lady who danced on the table then gets murdered. I mean, what the absolute fuck? Yeah. Oliver Twist is not a movie you show a 3-year-old. Especially if it's the version I think it is, the English version from the 70s or maybe the 60s. Yeah, that is not a movie you show a 3-year-old. Fuck that. Yeah. Um But yeah, I'm actually interested in seeing all the extras for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Like I said, I got the 4K version. Um, I'm actually going to go through and upload my code in there too, so I have the digital version as well. Yeah, but its main character is a kid. Uh huh. Yeah, exactly. And Charlotte's Web, the main character was a pig. What's wrong with that? Oh man. Sirius says, but it actually spoiled Jojo Rabbit for me somehow. While I was watching, I realized Scarlett Johansson's character was going to die when they focused on her feet dancing for her son. Yeah, I mean, he telegraphed that. Taika really telegraphed that one a lot. We knew she was going to die. Any new scenes? I believe there are. Raymond, I haven't opened it up yet. I mean, literally, I just pulled it out of the mailbox probably about an hour before I started here. So I haven't even opened up I haven't ripped off the cellophane wrapping as of yet. Oh, you felt there was a direct parallel to that character. Blah, 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 if I can actually speak. Yeah, I can see that. Oh man. Oh, so I know I'm doing Harley Quinn on Thursday. I just found out from because I follow the Harley Quinn Twitter account. They're releasing the first 3 episodes on Thursday, which I'm kind of pissed off about. So looks like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday I'm going to be doing episodes 1, 2, and 3. So that's why I have to change out my schedule on there. Schedule. Yeah, Tycho probably would draw from that. I could see that. Serious. Harley's really good. If you haven't, oh my god, if you haven't watched Harley Quinn, you're in for a treat. Serious. If you liked Invincible, you're gonna love Harley Quinn. I mean, it's just as violent, just as foul mouthed, and probably really fucking funny. I mean, just really funny. Um, the whole thing with Bane, I do the Bane voice because I can actually do it. It's I am Gotham's reckoning, and I mean that's how he does it all the time as he's talking, and it's the funniest fucking because he's trying to give serious you know dialogue there, and it's well, I'm not kidding, guys. I really want to do this, and he's just doing it that way all the time. But Alan Tudyk playing both the Joker and Clayface. His Joker is brilliant to the point where I want to see a live action version of the Joker with him playing the Joker. He just does a phenomenal voice of the Joker. It's right up there with Mark Hamill, and I don't say that lightly. I mean, I don't say that lightly at all, but it is completely right up there with Mark Hamill. So yeah, watch it. You've got 2 seasons to get through before Thursday. And then season 3 starts. And you can also go back I actually covered I believe the first 2 seasons as well. I thought it was going to be a shit show as well, and I ate my words on that one. I really did. Yeah. CBM says Bane is always a treat, and I sometimes pull up that Aquaman clip. uh Siri says I will definitely watch, getting Teen Titan vibes and had no idea Tudyk was in it. Yeah, Tudyk's in it. Tony Hale is in it. He plays Dr. Psycho. JB Smooth is the plant. The Poison Ivy's plant. Um, Lake Bell, of course, plays Poison Ivy. Um, who else is in this? There's a lot of voice actors in there. Oh God, Jason Alexander plays a Cy Borgman, who is their landlord at one point, and he's an ex CIA operative from the 70s and 80s who is part cyborg. Fucking funniest shit you're ever gonna get. And of course, Diedrich Bader is Batman. He plays Batman as well. Cy Borgman, yes. That's his name is Cy Borgman. It's dude, you'll laugh. It's probably one of the best written shows on TV and on HBO Max. It's this hidden little gem. I first started on the DC streamer. I can't remember what the name of it is now, but then it moved over to HBO Max, and I've been telling everybody who can to go and watch it. Yeah. It's like naming a walking fish character Mr. Red Herring. They might do something like that as well. Yes, I didn't watch The Flight Attendant CBM, but yeah, I think this is the best thing that Kaylee Cuoco has done. Um, yeah, she does a good Harley Quinn, I have to admit. She really does. And it delves into the character a bit more, so you get into like you actually get to meet her family and also about, how she was an Olympic athlete to pay for college and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean you get into all these different things within this series. So it's not just a haha, we're making fun of DC Comics. No, they actually kind of they have a storyline going through this, and it's actually a really damn good storyline. They destroy Gotham. I mean, they fuck up Gotham fairly badly in the second season. There's a lot of stuff in there. Oh, also Commissioner Gordon is played by oh god, I can see his face right now, but I'm blanking on his name. He played in Happy. He was the main character in Happy. Um, fuck. Now I'm blanking on his name. All of a sudden, why am I blanking on his name? I mean, that's there. Christopher Maloney. There we go. Christopher Maloney is Jim Gordon, and Jim Gordon has a lot of issues. That's all I could say. He's very needy and has a lot of fucking issues. But Christopher Maloney plays Jim Gordon. So yeah, I mean, good show. I'm actually jealous that you've never seen it and you get to experience the first two seasons firsthand there. I mean, you're in for a treat. That's all I can say. You really are in for a big treat. Trust me, start watching it tonight. You'll blaze through the first season most likely by midnight tonight, and you know, or wherever you are, by 6 o'clock in the morning. Just call in sick for work, man, for the next couple of days because you're gonna go through all those episodes. Chaka's Cave said, I enjoyed Bernard playing Gordon in the new. Yeah, I did like the new Batman wasn't that bad. I mean, I don't like that they just kind of remade Zodiac. And I really don't like that the Riddler, I guess that's what it was, the Zodiac killer, um, the guy who plays him, Paul Dano, once he goes into Arkham and then is delivering that, I don't know, that monologue or his reasoning for why he was doing things to Bruce Wayne or to Batman. And it completely ruined. I mean, when he starts laughing and starts doing this weird shit, I was like, okay, this is really bad acting now at this point. Why did you leave this in? This is like, you basically just destroyed everything that you had built up into this point, and now it's shitty. So, Sirius says, "Ha, I'm off until August 1st. Nice. All right. Well, there you go. Then you've got something to watch now." Chaka says, I enjoyed it, but man, it was long. My ADHD ass was going out of my mind. Yeah, it was a long movie. Again, if you go and take a look in my archives, excuse me, is it worth my time? I've got it in there as well because I covered that as well. I cover pretty much every big movie that comes out, for the most part, big superhero movies, I should say. And yeah, uh, yeah, for the most part. especially if it's Marvel, DC, that kind of stuff. Um, man, yeah, I'm still wondering about Black Adam, how that's going to play out. But yeah. Sirius says, I like the Batman, but it was too long, and I thought it was kind of funny that they went for the hyper realistic look with the eye grease. Yeah. 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 I know. Yeah, Chaka, I've got a lot of videos up there. I mean, just I have them actually in chapters, not chapters, I should say, in playlists. So they're easy to get through for the most part. And but I've got about 930 videos that are up right now. That's where I'm at. So I'm closing in on the 1,000 mark fairly soon here. CBM says I'm not interested in Black Adam. The JSA seemed cool, but I really don't like The Rock. There's a lot of people that don't like The Rock. Yeah, I am interested in the JSA because Dr. Fate is in it. That Pierce Brosnan is playing Dr. Fate. I was very interested until he starts taking off the helm willingly at any point he wants to, and that just kind of ruined it for me. And I'm hoping they're going to have some explanation for that because that's not what that's supposed to be. Basically, whoever becomes Dr. Fate becomes a prisoner of the helm and cannot remove it at will. So, yeah. And I'm wondering who they're going to use. I'm sure it's not Zatanna's father, of course. But we'll find out. Dante S says The Rock can't act. Black Adam story looks good though. Sirius says, no, there's one thing I didn't understand. Batman usually works with the police because even when they don't like him, Gordon is the commissioner. But in this movie, they hate him and Gordon's not. So again, in the comics, it depends on who's writing him. This is a point. This is Batman year 0 is where it's at in this version. So he hasn't established a good rapport with the police yet. He's just basically working with Jim Gordon at this point, not the rest of the police department. So this is really early on in his career as Batman. So that's why that was happening. Chaka says, I like The Rock pre-Fast and Furious days, but as he says, The Rock don't give a damn. Yeah. Really? Walking Tall? I didn't like that movie, Dante S. My favorite one is the one he did with Sean Scott. Oh, fuck. What was it? The Runaway or The Rundown? The Rundown. That's what it was. The Rundown. That one was a lot of fun. And also, that was the one where supposedly Schwarzenegger was handing off the action movie, the action hero persona, I guess you could say, off to The Rock. When he's in the bar and he's getting ready to talk to the NFL guy, as he's walking over, Schwarzenegger passes him and says, "Good luck. Good luck, kid." Something like that. And that was supposed to be the handoff. And yes, Christopher Walken was a great bad guy in that. His whole story about the fairy godmother or the tooth fairy, and he's having the translator translate it to all the people about the tooth fairy, and it's just fucking. I mean, that alone is one of my favorite Christopher Walken moments of him doing just some really goofy shit. Serious as I kind of actually like the game plan Disney feel good movie where he adopts a kid. Yeah. It is awful. I'll just say that right now, serious. Dante S says hope the King Words is good. Jonathan Majors a great actor. Loved him. I'm fairly sure it's gonna be pretty damn good. Yeah. I mean, we're gonna see King in Ant-Man and the Wasp in February, or Quantum Mania is what it's called. Quantumania. My favorite Christopher Walken is Joe Dirt is actually a good one. I have to admit that is good. But I'm trying to think what my favorite Christopher Walken is. It might be True Romance is my favorite Christopher Walken. You know? That might be my favorite one. Sirius says, I know. I remember walking out of Attack of the Clones thinking it was the bestest movie ever. So, fun story about Attack of the Clones. So, I saw Attack of the Clones. I was living here in the Bay Area at the time. I was catering at the time too. So, I was working a catering job on the side. And I got hired to do the it was not an after party, but it was a party for ILM people, and George Lucas was going to be there, and I was literally 6 feet away from George Lucas, and I remember leaning over to my friend. I'm like, I could kick him in the ass from here. Should I do it? Because of just how bad that movie was. So, yeah, Walking in King of New York is good too. Yeah, Dead Zone's great. I mean, Dead Zone's always good. That's young Christopher Walken. Very, very young Christopher Walken. Here, I'm sure there's actually a better one that I'm just forgetting about Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken, even his small roles are just awesome. I mean, they really are. Walken. There it is. Also the Deer Hunter. You know. Oh, that's right. He's going to be in Dune Part 2. He's going to be playing Emperor Shaddam the Fourth. Yeah, I just want to say that I think that you should give us all the spice right now as it is, because you're going to have a problem if you don't. Hey, can someone tell this guy about the Tooth Fairy? I do feel bad for the guy, though. At least he had a vision. The one thing Star Wars now lacks. I don't know about that, Sirius. I still think Jon Favreau is doing a fine job, as well as Dave Filoni. Yeah, that I think is. I think that's Star Wars to me. I'm looking over Christopher Walken's stuff here. He was in Kill the Irishman recently. Balls of Fury. Balls of Fury was a good one too. That was just a whacked out fucking movie, but to have Christopher Walken in Balls of Fury, that one's a fun movie as well. The Rundown, of course, yes. He's been in a lot of fucking movies. He really has. Sleepy Hollow. That's right. He played the Hessian horseman in Sleepy Hollow. You know, with the cut off head. Mouse Hunt. He played Caesar the Exterminator. I forgot about that. Oh my God, he's just been in so many things. The Prophecy, of course. Pulp Fiction, Wayne's World 2. That's right. He was in Wayne's World 2. That was actually pretty. Batman Returns, Max Schreck. That was actually a good role for him too. Batman Returns was a really good role for him. Dante S says, don't understand why Obi-Wan visually looks so cheap and cheesy. Can't put my finger on it. I think it was more the story, Dante S. It just it was a bad story, is really what it was. That's all I'm going to say. It was a bad story. So yeah. Oh, that's right, Communion, with the, aliens, where he played, the author of the book, Whitley Strieber. That was interesting. Biloxi Blues, Sergeant Toomey, that's right, that was a good one as well. Oh, yeah, I know, A View to a Kill, Max Sorin. So, when he played the Bond villain for, Max Sorin in A View to a Kill, that was one of my favorite roles of his, just because also I associate it with, Saturday Night Live, because he did the Saturday Night Live right, the weekend that came out, and, there was a couple of skits of James Bond skits, and one of them was, they capture Bond, and instead of putting Bond in some, you know, elaborate scheme to kill him, they haven't built the lair as of yet, so he's showing Bond all the stuff that he's going to build that, he was gonna put Bond through. And here is the shark that's going to eat you. And then he pulls it aside. And here's the shark pooping you out later on. And he's doing it, in the Christopher Walken voice. And oh my God, it's hilarious. So ever since then, that, you know, the Max Sorin character there just makes me laugh. Uh, Serious as I have literally no idea what happened to Josh Brolin's character in Dune. I think he was leading a suicide charge with a bunch of explosive, and then it cuts away and never cuts back. Does anyone really care? I mean, it's Josh Brolin. So, Josh Brolin's a really overrated actor, like severely overrated actor. I mean, you want to talk about someone who really benefited from nepotism? That's the person right there. I mean, almost as much as, what's her name? Harley Quinn Smith. Is that her name? Kevin Smith's daughter. Speaking about someone who benefited from nepotism. Fuck. Siri says, basically just Oscar Isaac and Aquaman are for sure dead. Or are they? We never really know. God, I forgot about Brainstorm. He was in Brainstorm as well. Man, Annie Hall. That's right. He was in Annie Hall as well. Um, he was in an episode of Hawaii Five-O, the original one. Jesus Christ. I mean, he's been in everything. Oh, man. Anyway, I digress. Did I finish The Old Man? There's supposed to be one more episode, Dante. Yes. There's only been 7 episodes that have aired. I'm waiting. It seems there should be an 8th episode. Because I mean, it ends with her getting out of the car, and her father, her real father, her biological father, is there looking at her, and that's how it ends. So, on the 7th episode, I'm liking it so far, but I mean, it's fairly predictable. I mean, I like Jeff Bridges. I like, John Lithgow. I like everyone that's involved in all of this. Oh, episode 7 was the finale? That's kind of a fucked up finale then. Then I don't like the way it ended. It just kind of ended. Sirius says, I felt he did a good job as Thanos, but that's equal parts FX artist. But regardless, he was someone important to the Doom plot. Seemed like bizarre. So if you want to see a great example of why Josh Brolin is overrated, Jonah Hex. That's it right there. Jonah Hex. Just watch Jonah Hex. And when Megan Fox is the best actor in the entire group of people that you have in your movie, and I'm talking about even oh God, um, fuck the villain in that one. Oh, God, I am just blanking on people's names today. I don't know why. I really am. I'm blanking on people's names. John Malkovich. Even John Malkovich was bad in that. So I mean, oh, that was a bad movie. Um, It's too bad Jeff Bridges can only appear in MCU flashbacks now. Rip, the only character Marvel legitimately killed. Well, him and Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben never existed. Serious. Uncle Ben never existed in the Sony Spider-Man universe. Remember, they never mentioned him, and Aunt May is buried in her own plot. There's no Ben Parker sitting next to her. So, yeah. Is Daredevil that good? You're talking about the Netflix series? Fuck yeah. It's definitely worth watching. If you haven't watched the Netflix series of Daredevil, go and watch it. Wow. I've hit the 1 hour mark, and the little dog is telling me that she needs to go. So I'm going to end it here. I want to thank everybody who joined me today in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule up there. I put it up there every week. Change it out every week, I should say. And I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. I will be back on Thursday with Harley Quinn episode 1, then Friday with Harley Quinn episode 2, and then Saturday with Harley Quinn episode 3. And then Saturday will be the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any other genre stuff you guys want to talk about. We talk about it. And then Monday will be Westworld. And then that week, I'm going to be playing it by ear here because I've got it all mapped out in a calendar that's way far away from me. But with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the rest of the night. Thank you, everybody. I will see you again on Thursday. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, Christopher Walken will come in and bitch slap you because you can't remember what movie he's in. And, he's got a lot of credits to his name. So it could be really any movie, really. So thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Thursday. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get those boosters as well. And it doesn't work without the boosters. I'm actually getting my second booster fairly soon here. So thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Thursday. Have a great night, and see you then. Have a good one, everyone. Good night.